Good afternoon from the Red Mic. Happy Friday to everybody. Hope everybody's doing all right today. I certainly am. Today, well, let's just say I remember good old Freeman Johns, and yeah, it is another Good Friday. So today's Red Mic message. Well, first let's do the intro. I got to get used to this. Got to keep consistent, right? These Red Mic messages are leadership and life lessons that I've picked up from 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football and scouting volunteer, and 10 years as a mediocre athlete with far more heart than actual physical ability. Red Mic messages are posted each weekday on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Spotify, and X, formerly known as Twitter. And now here's today's Red Mic message. I want to talk about a career path that often gets really undervalued: public service. Yes, the average salaries might be lower compared to the private sector, but for me, the trade-off for a stable schedule, really good benefits, and a strong work-life balance has been a game changer. In my various roles at different state agencies, going all the way back to 1999, my first state job, not counting, college. When I was in college, I worked in the public information office with Janice Buss, and then later in the private sector, I worked for her husband Ted. Rest Ted's soul, he's passed. But Janice was great. They were implementing a call-in line. This was pre-internet, of course. So it was a phone line where you could call in and find out what was going on at Midwestern. So it was the Midwestern State University info line. And of course, I hammed it up just a little bit. But anyway, but try as they may, they couldn't get a lot of traffic to the phone. And so they ended up phasing that out. But I stayed on at the public information office through the rest of the semester, and it was a fun place to work. And Janice was nice. She was a good boss. Anyway, but I digress. In my various roles at different state agencies, going all the way back to 99, when I got my first job working for Senator Haywood, scheduling time off for my kids' activities was never a major hurdle. Public service really allowed me to be present for those special moments, the kind of things that, build memories. And the benefits are good too. Health insurance in the public sector is better than what you find in many parts of the private sector. Erosion of those benefits is an ongoing concern. Everything is going up, but it still has a really solid retirement plan, and that offers peace of mind for the future. Now, here's something else. Working at the Capitol or even near the Capitol is awesome. I mean, you know me. I mean, you've seen. I mean, I've got the Texas flag in one of my banners, and you see that Texas flag back there for that Star Builder logo that I designed. Well, I repurposed. I didn't design the whole thing. Anyway, getting to work in or near our state capitol has always been really special. And you would think more than 20 years after first walking in there on the job, back when I worked for Senator Haywood, you would think it would get to the point where it's like, oh yeah, I'm at the Capitol again. But it just doesn't. There are all these really cool architectural things, and everywhere you look, there's a little bit of history. And it's Texas. Everything's a little bit bigger and better here, right? Huge state capital. Yeah. When I go to other states and end up in their capital, or end up near their capital, I go, oh, isn't that cute? That's a cute little capital. Yeah. I do, and it's condescending as heck, and I know, but truth hurts, right? Our capital is just awesome. So much detail, so much history. I am always in awe of all the history just soak it in, Anyway, again, I digress a little bit. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat the downside of public service. Job security can be a concern, especially in bad budget years. reductions in force are a reality. Um, Also, I worked at a state agency that got sunsetted. We got shut down. Promotions and pay raises might not happen as often as they sometimes do in the private sector. And let's face it, public perception is an issue. Government employees sometimes get a bad rap. I can tell you from experience, the people I've worked with, almost to a person, are dedicated and passionate individuals who genuinely want to make a positive impact. At the chiropractic board, for example, we never lose focus on the fact that our number one job is to protect the public. That's our charge. Um, and when complaints come in alleging that a chiropractor has not done, what they're supposed to do, or they're doing things that are just flat out wrong or illegal, we investigate them. We run them to ground. Um, a good number of them get dismissed because they were unfounded. But in those rare cases where we have to levy fines, or in some cases even revoke licenses, it's a bunch of dedicated individuals, both on the paid staff, but also my volunteer board, that put in the time to really live up to that charge of protecting the public. For me, public service has been a great fit. It's a career that allows me to contribute to something bigger than myself, but at the same time, having the flexibility and stability to enjoy a fulfilling personal life. This has been a gift, because of this schedule. I've had the privilege of coaching, sports teams. I served as my son's Cub master. Eventually, I ended up being Scout master. We went on, I don't know how many adventures. I mean, countless camping trips, camping in the freezing cold to, ridiculously hot temperatures and everything in between. Summer camps. My favorite scouting memory was spending a week canoeing in the boundary waters between the U.S. and Canada with my older scout there, and he's the one who became an Eagle, by the way. And just as importantly, and I don't think I ever missed any of their games, with the exception of when their games overlapped, where one of them had a game and it was the same time as something that someone else was doing. But I got to go to their games, their concerts, their school events. Those moments matter, and public service allowed me to be fully present for them and for my wife. So the next time you hear about public service, don't just think about the salary. I mean, yeah, it's important. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. But think about the chance to make a real impact, the very strong work-life balance, the opportunity to truly be there for your loved ones, and also the good retirement benefits. I think if you take all that in, it might just surprise you. Maybe public service is for you. And that's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found it helpful. Hope it gave you something to think about. We are live every day for now at 2:30, although next week's going to be a little bit different. I will be live next week, but don't have any idea what time. I will try to keep y'all posted as much as I can. I would appreciate a like, a follow, and a share. Again, as I mentioned, we are on just about every social, and we're also on Spotify. So please, again, like, follow, and share. I'll see you next week. And until then, remember, life is short. Drink the bourbon.